Good morning. I feel like it should be, why is this shaking so bad? I feel like it should be Friday, but it's not. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I did a story about, it's pretty rude that it's not Friday, but okay. Today is Wednesday, and we are in week 3 of Build It Big, and I am so excited. And I hope some people start popping on. I started my video a little earlier than normal on my road. I'm still trying to figure out where exactly I lose service on that road. Good morning, Blair. Good morning, Kayla. Good morning, Melanie. Melanie, I hope that you are ready for summer. I love these children, but Lord, I am done. Good morning, guys. Let me know if you're popping on. Give me some likes, give me some love. Tell me if you're watching the replay. I listened to a fire podcast. I really wish I would stop shaking on here. I listened to a fire podcast, and it was actually like a 2-part thing. I listened to part of it last night while I was running again, because I don't know what's going on with me. I've been real grumpy. My husband says it's because of the end of the school year and I'm real tired. My child won't sleep. So, oh, good morning from Australia. How awesome. Oh no, it is like 95 degrees here in the afternoon. Okay, so I'm going to get started. 6 steps to effective leadership. Mississippi, yes. I'm an Alabama girl. Okay, anyway, I'm getting distracted. So, 6 steps. The first step is discipline. And I actually have notes today, guys, so I don't squirrel. The first step is discipline. Small discipline consistently leads you to big results over time. So I know that a lot of times we get frustrated if we're not seeing like the fruits of our labor right away. And we have to remember that this business is based on consistency. It doesn't matter if you do something one time or 10 times, it's got to be more than that. You have to do it consistently for you to see effective results. And it's so true when I talk about this business being like a farmer type mindset. I never really say it like that, but I say that we're planting seeds and the harvest is going to come. Yes, I think that, Shonda, I think you were the one on the Summit page that told me about it, and I listened to both of them. So, I know, girl, I'm multitasking. I promise I'm being safe. So, if you're not doing things consistently, you're not going to see results. Meaning everything that you're doing now is going to harvest in the fall. So you cannot just expect to do all the things right now and expect to see the fruits of your labor right away. We have to be consistent because this is a marathon, not a sprint. And you have to build up endurance the same way with running. You're not just going to go out and run 5 miles at one time and survive it. You're not going to be able to do something in this business one time and find overnight success. It's just not going to happen that way. And by creating those disciplines, you are bridging who you are and who you want to be. So based on the things that you discipline yourself to do, that is the person that you are going to eventually become, because you cannot become a good leader if you are not disciplined to do things even when you don't feel like doing them. Because I don't feel like going to run when it's 95 degrees after school, but I know that if I don't go, I may not have the opportunity, and then that's going to throw my entire day off. And I don't break promises to myself anymore unless it comes to me having to choose something for my kids that's life or death or whatever. So being disciplined in that area, you have to do things that you may not want to do to get to where you want to be. And those small things, I'm not talking about, and this is in life too, guys. This isn't just in your business, because I don't feel like you can be a good business owner if you are not okay with yourself first. If you're not okay with yourself, you've got to be okay with yourself. And I mean small disciplines like drinking a gallon of water every day, or maybe that's not a small discipline to you, but even like waking up and not scrolling on Facebook, checking your workstation and sending out a few encouraging texts instead. Whatever a small discipline looks like to you that you can do consistently. And I'm so glad that I listened to this podcast, because tonight when we do our Zoom, that's exactly what this is talking about. So the first one is discipline. The second step is the courage to stop. Okay? The courage to stop. If you want to rise, if you want to be an effective leader, if you want to change who you are, you have to stop doing the things that don't matter. And I meant to say this at the very beginning of this talk, so sorry. You are a leader even if you just joined and you don't have anybody on your team. When I say leader, you're leading your business. You are an entrepreneur. You are a business owner. You are the leader of that, whether you have someone on your team or not. And you can set the tone from the day you join. And that's the difference. Girl, I drink 2 gallons a day at this point, but I know my kids always make fun of me because he has to do the recycling and there's always gallons of water. Anyway, I'm squirreling. Courage to stop doing things that don't matter. And I've talked about that like all day yesterday when I did a video. But doing the things that don't matter are not going to get you where you want to be. If you want to grow, you have to do less. You have to do less. And I don't mean stop doing the income producing things. I mean stop doing the things that don't matter. So when you are going to accomplish more by doing less, and I say that in the meaning you can't do all of the things and rise all the way to the top. You have to choose the things that matter and do those. So you don't grow by saying yes to everything. You don't grow by saying yes to everything. You grow in your no's. So if someone asks me to go do a live on their team page while I've been doing this Build It Big program, I've had to say no because I'm committed to this and I'm committed to my own business and I can't take anything else on. So saying no does not make you a bad person. Saying no gives you, I think you're very strong for being able to say no to things that aren't going to bring you the results that you need. And if you're trying to do 18 million things, you're probably not doing any of them great or effectively. So choose the things that matter and do those great and say no to everything else until you're ready to move on from that. The third rule, or the third thing to be a great leader is you need a person to empower, okay? A person to empower. And that cannot just be yourself, because as a leader, as a business owner, as someone who is trying to build it big, you cannot do this alone, because your team is only going to grow, or your leadership is only going to be as effective as the amount of people that you empower to do something different. Okay, so your team is never going to get stronger if you are the only person that you're empowering. And when I say empowering, I don't mean being bossy and being a control freak or anything like that, because that's very much me. I like to control things. I like things done my way. And it's taken me a long time to realize that it's okay that people don't do things the way that I do it. They can try it their way. And when they're ready to come to me and ask for help, then I can show them my way. But you've got to empower people to take on their leadership and want to do better and want to rise, because you cannot do this business alone. You can't get to Superstar Director alone. You can't get to any of the promotions past certified alone. You have to have people that are willing to rise with you. So you have to have a person to empower. So the first three rules, first three rules, just to recap, are discipline, meaning small disciplines consistently lead to bigger results. Number 2, courage to stop, meaning courage to stop doing the things that don't matter. You grow in your no's, not with saying yes to everything, and a person to empower, because you can't grow in this business alone. You need to bring people with you and empower them to be the type of leader that they can be, because a lot of times people don't see their potential. in themselves, but somebody else can. Like, I know some of my leaders that are on here that I've even seen, like, I know how amazing they are as a leader, and they doubt themselves, and it kills me. But I know that I am the exact same way. We are always our own worst critic. So the fourth rule, and this one really is going to hit home today because our Zoom, the fourth rule is systems to create. You cannot be an effective leader without a system. A system is how you accomplish the things that need to get done. We've talked a lot about that, and that's really what we're digging deep into tonight. You either have a system by default or with intent. I'm going to say that again. You either have a system by default or with intention. And when I say by default, that means if you're just going through your everyday life with no system in how you work your business, that's your system. And it's not effective. And that's okay, because guys, I've ran this business for, it'll be 4 years in July. I didn't have a system to work my business. It wasn't intentional. I was a squirrel. I was just doing all the things. I had zero way of knowing what I was doing was consistent. Did I think it was consistent in my head? Maybe, but it wasn't. Because if you don't have a system or a way to hold yourself accountable, everything is on accident, and you do not grow on accident. You grow with intention. Growth is not accidental. Growth is through consistency. Growth is through accountability, and growth is 100% intentional, and you have to have a plan to get there. So, such as this, like if you have a problem in your business, if you're saying like you have a customer service problem, if you have a customer service problem, or you're thinking that in your head, like, I don't really have a system for how I take care of my customers. Yes, I may send thank yous to PWS orders. Yes, I may package my stuff like a party, but do you actually have a system? Is that actually written down? Do you have a way to keep track of who you've sent stuff to? Do you have a way to do any of that? So you don't have a customer service problem. You have a problem in your system of holding yourself accountable. And I was there, guys. So I'm not preaching to you guys like I'm better. I'm preaching to you about what I did wrong so that you guys don't make the same mistakes as me. So, healthy and effective systems don't happen by accident. They are created. And that is why I have created all of the systems that I did, that I'm going to share with you guys, that you guys can use to put into place to work your business. My system is not perfect. It is not my way or the highway. It is something that I created because I couldn't find anything out there that I could use for the way that my brain worked. There are plenty of other systems out there, scalable systems by Christina Steinbrook, with binders. There are lots of other systems out there. You can Google Scentsy systems if you want to, but I could not find something that worked for me. So instead of just running around like a squirrel from here on for the rest of my life, I decided to take the time to create something, because as a mom of two, and this is kind of when all of that transitioned, is becoming a mom of two, I realized like I couldn't handle it anymore, and I really wanted to grow and eventually be able to go part-time in my job, and I wasn't going to get there by doing what I was doing. So healthy and effective systems don't happen by accident. They are created. So the task today was to organize your lists from personal, business, and leadership into daily, weekly, and monthly. Do that tonight before the call. You don't have to write anything else down. You already have your list. Put a D, a W, or an M next to it. And it can't be what you think it should be. It's what you do or what you are going to put into place. Remember, this is going to take some discipline to get it running effectively, period. So be on our call tonight at 8, and I'm going to show you the systems that I've created, and they are completely editable, guys. I'm not going to create something and then hold it in for myself. That's not who I am as a person. I believe sharing is caring, and if I'm not sharing with you guys, like, what am I even doing? Why am I going to waste my time creating something that could potentially change people's lives and hold it to myself? Because we're better together, right? So Beyond tonight, I'm going to give you everything I've created. If you love it, great. If you hate it, fine. But find a system that's going to work for you. And that's why you have to do your daily, weekly, monthly next to your list so it works for you. You cannot just take the things that are in mine and make it work for you, because my schedule may be much different than yours. Okay, so the fifth one that I'm going to talk about is a relationship to initiate. I know that Chloe talked about this before, but if you relationship to initiate, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I know that quote has been everywhere. I know you guys have heard that. I 100% believe that. And I can say that because I was married before, and we had a lot of fights about the people that he hung out with because I felt like he was going to end up just like them. And guess what he did? Was it because of those relationships? Who knows? But I am a 100% believer in you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you are the smartest person or the most driven person in your circle, you need to bring some new people in and maybe push some people out. And I'm not saying that to be ugly. I'm saying that because you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. You always want to be friends with people that are going to push you, that are going to challenge you, that are better than you at things. Because if you're not, who are you even going to rise up to be, right? You always have to do that. So if you show me your friends, I'm going to show you your future. And I 100% believe that off of this podcast. So if you are like, you just need to find people that are going to push you, period. If you are around a bunch of negative people, get new friends. And I'm not saying you got to go and be like, yo, homegirl, Chastity said that I need to be the average of the 5 people I spend time with, and you ain't going nowhere, so I can't be your friend. No, I'm not saying that. But you need to be intentional with the people that you're talking to, the people that you're surrounding yourself with, and all of those other kinds of things. Because if you're surrounding yourself with someone who's like, oh, I can't do this, Chastity and Chloe are just, I could never do what they do, and I'll never be on their level. Well, you damn right. And I'm sorry. But if you're going to be like that, then you're right. You never will be. But we're here to help you not make the same mistakes that we did. And we're here to help you rise. And if you are the smartest person or the most driven person, no one else is going to push you but you. And I can tell you right now that hanging out with people that are higher than me, that are doing the things that I want to do, that is what motivates me. That doesn't make me jealous. That makes me want to rise. And if you're still in that mindset of being jealous, we need to fix that. We need to figure out what internally is going on, because I don't want anybody to ever be jealous of me, because I'm ready to bring everybody with me. You're either coming with me or you're staying below. Like, I don't have time for anything else. And my friends and the people that I surround myself with motivate me to be better. Do I wish I could already quit my job? Absolutely. But I'm not jealous. I'm going to go do the work to get there. And that's the difference. You are one relationship away from changing your life. Let me say that again. And I said this yesterday, but I mean it 100% wholeheartedly. You are one relationship away from changing your entire life. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back. You are one relationship away from changing your life and your business. It only takes one to join your team and completely change your life. And I promise you, that's true. And that also means with the people you surround yourself with in your business or in your personal life or whatever. I don't just mean joining your team. I also mean people that could be an accountability partner that can change your life. 100%. Stacy has zero to do with my business when it comes to being like on the same team and the same upline. We are not connected at all. But I'm going to tell you right now that Stacy McDonald pushes me every single day. Not because she's like, hey girl, get your life together. She does tell me that if I need to be told that, but it's not because of that. What, baby? You're cold? Not because she just is like that. She pushes me because she's a good friend and she's motivational and all of that stuff. So if you don't have a relationship like that with someone, you need to find them. And I encourage you to find someone that's not below you or that's not in your like upline, because I just believe that it needs to be somebody else. Obviously, Chloe and I are really good friends, and she is my accountability partner and all that, but Chloe and I had a relationship before Scentsy. So you need to find somebody that can push you. If you are stuck with where you are, you need to learn from someone who is way ahead of you. Way ahead of you. Not just one step ahead of you, way ahead of you. And then you can change leaps. And I don't mean go and be a stalker on YouTube to anybody you look up to in Scentsy. Honestly, the people that are mentoring you and that you're looking up to can be people that you've not even met in Scentsy if you're going to go and dive in and learn everything from them. But you can't just learn from people that are on the same level as you. I believe they can give you tips, they can give you tricks, they can tell you what's working. But you need to be looking to people who have been where you're at and have done all the things and don't make the same mistakes. And I love that I hear y'all tagging each other about, or I see that you guys are tagging each other about accountability partners. That's going to be a task later on in this program next week, because I believe that it has 100% changed my business. I never believed in them before because I was like, I'm good. I don't need anybody else to motivate me, because I am very self-motivated, but I was wrong. I needed that. Even if it's just to check in with if they're alive from their kids today. Because my kids are crazy, Stacy's kids are crazy, Chloe's Brody is crazy, like just checking on each other if we're alive. Anyway, everyone has relationships. You need to have relationships on purpose. I get very caught up in the moment with go, 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 that I forget to build a relationship with people. Not because I'm like not because I'm insensitive or because I don't care, but because I'm so on the go that it just doesn't cross my mind that I need to do that. Stacy, I just gave you like a shout out because you're the best accountability partner ever. So love you, mean it. Having relationships on purpose. You need to be intentional with those relationships. If you are the smartest and the hardest working person in the room, we need to find you some other circles to encroach in. Last thing, because I got to go into work, is taking risks. Okay? No one has achieved greatness by playing it safe. Period. No one has achieved greatness by playing it safe. If you want to change who you are, you need to change what you do every single day. That is why discipline is important. That is why these systems are going to be important. But if you want to change where you are, it's going to come from your daily habits, your daily activities, and doing things even when you feel like you don't want to. Now is the time. Not tomorrow, not a week from now, not in the fall, now. Because if you don't make the changes now, you are not going to see the fruit of your labor in the fall. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to be able to keep up as you continue to grow if you don't put these things into place now. If you don't take risks now, you're not going to see the value in all of this. Okay? If something that you're doing is working, that is fabulous. That is great. But I can promise you that you have to be willing to adapt and know that not everything is going to work forever, if that makes sense. What I was doing in my business for the first 3 years was working. I never took the time to make my system, but it didn't work forever. And you cannot just coast to greatness. Let me say that again. You cannot just coast to greatness. And that's what I was doing. I was coasting sometimes. Most of the time I was just drowning. I felt like I was coasting because I could catch up on the weekend. I'm not trying to catch up on the weekend. I'm going to be real honest with y'all. I don't work on the weekends pretty much anymore. Unless it's packaging a party or having a few coaching calls. I don't do a lot of Scentsy on the weekend. I work my tail off during the week and spend the weekend with my family. But I used to not do that because I was coasting and I was drowning and I didn't have a system. Now is the time. Stop being afraid of what could go wrong and get excited about what could go right. Get excited about what could go right. Who cares if something goes wrong? Everybody makes mistakes, and if you're not making mistakes, you're not trying hard enough, and you're not getting out of your comfort zone, and it's time to change that. So I'm going to go over these 6 things very, very quickly because I've really got to go into work. So the 6 steps to greatness. Number 1, discipline. Small discipline, consistently, going to bring consistent results. Number 2, courage to stop doing the things that don't matter. That ends in life too. If it doesn't matter, stop doing it. Number 3, the person to empower. Get a person to empower. And that doesn't mean just one person. You need to be empowering all the people. Your team doesn't get stronger by you. Your team gets stronger by empowering all of the people. Number 4, create your system. We're going to get into that today. If you're not going to be on today, you need to be on today. Make sure you do your task with D, W, and M for today. Systems. So important. My principal's making an announcement in the school. Number 5, relationship to initiate. Show your friends. I'll show you your future. Average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Number 6, you've got to take risks. You have got to take risks. If you're not taking risks, you're not growing. I love y'all. I hope this was helpful. And I hope you guys have a good day. I'm sorry to pop off. I was supposed to be in work 1 minute ago. Love y'all.